Hey there! Did you know that some of the coolest inventions and discoveries happened because people needed to solve a problem or just wanted to make life more fun? Let's check out some awesome facts about inventions and discoveries. Ice cream cones were invented at a fair. During the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, ice cream was a super popular treat. But one day, a vendor totally ran out of bowls and spoons for serving. Next to him, a waffle seller named Ernest Hamwee had an idea. He rolled up a warm waffle into a cone and handed it to the ice cream vendor to use. Bubble wrap was invented as wallpaper. In 1957, engineers Alfred Fielding and Mark Chavans sealed 2 shower curtains together to make textured wallpaper. The bubbly design didn't really work on walls, but they noticed it could totally protect fragile objects. That's how bubble wrap became one of the world's favorite packing tools, and honestly, the most poppable distraction ever. Sometimes inventions go from flop to fantastic. Velcro was actually inspired by nature and even a dog walk. So, back in 1941, a Swiss engineer named Georges de Mestral took his dog for a walk and noticed how these really stubborn burrs kept sticking to his dog's fur. He got super curious and looked at them under a microscope, and wow, he saw these tiny hooks that grabbed onto loops in the fabric. Years later, he made a reusable fastening system, and now we call it Velcro. Popsicles were invented by accident. In 1905, there was this 11-year-old boy named Frank Epperson. He mixed soda powder with water and, kind of by mistake, left it outside on a cold night, with the stirring stick still in the cup. By morning, the whole drink was frozen solid, and Frank pulled out the very first frozen treat on a stick. He called it the Epsicle, and after a while it became the popsicle that we all know and totally love today. Sometimes forgetfulness tastes delicious. Microwave ovens were discovered because of a melted chocolate bar. In 1945, Percy Spencer, who was an engineer working on radar machines, noticed something pretty weird. A chocolate bar in his pocket melted while he was testing some microwave-emitting equipment. He got curious and started experimenting more and found out that microwaves could actually cook food. His first test? Popping popcorn. From science labs to kitchens everywhere, microwave ovens became a super tasty invention. The Slinky was a ship tool gone wild. During World War II, Richard James was trying to invent a spring that could keep ship equipment steady at sea. One day, he accidentally knocked a spring off the table, and it walked down to the floor. Richard and his wife Betty saw the fun in it and named it the Slinky, a serious invention that turned into one of the most iconic toys in the world. Sticky notes came from a glue that wasn't sticky enough. In 1968, scientist Spencer Silver was working on a super strong adhesive, but instead made a glue that was only lightly sticky and could be removed without leaving marks. At first, no one knew what to do with it. But years later, his co-worker Art Fry used it to keep bookmarks in his hymn book, and that gave birth to the Post-it note or sticky notes. A failed glue turned into a brilliant sticky idea. X-rays were discovered by accident. In 1895, German scientist Wilhelm Röntgen was experimenting with invisible energy waves when he saw that a glow appeared on a screen nearby, even though there was something solid in the way. He discovered that these new rays could pass through things, like human skin and even wood, but not bones or metal. The first X-ray he took? His wife's hand, showing her bones and her wedding ring. Play-Doh was supposed to clean walls. Back in the 1930s, a company made this soft, squishy putty that was meant to clean coal soot off wallpaper. But, when homes switched to cleaner heating, nobody really needed it anymore. Then, in the 1950s, a teacher discovered that kids totally loved molding and squashing it in class. So the company added colors and renamed it Play-Doh. And now it's a favorite toy in classrooms and homes, from cleaning gunk to inspiring creativity. Superglue was discovered by accident. Twice. In 1942, scientist Harry Coover was trying to invent clear plastic for gun sights during World War II. But he accidentally made a substance that was way too sticky. It bonded to everything instantly. At the time, he thought it was pretty much useless. Then, 6 years later, while working on a totally different project, he rediscovered the same material. This time, he realized it had amazing potential as a quick-fix adhesive. And superglue was born. From a military experiment to your household hero. Did you know the stethoscope was invented because a doctor was shy? Back in 1816, a French doctor named René Laennec needed to listen to a patient's heartbeat. But, he felt uncomfortable placing his ear directly on her chest, which was actually the usual way doctors listened back then. So he rolled up a paper tube and placed one end on her chest and the other to his ear. To his surprise, the sound was even clearer than before. Later, he designed a wooden version, the very first stethoscope, which helped doctors all over the world listen to hearts and lungs with care and confidence. Sometimes, polite problem-solving leads to powerful progress. Lego bricks were actually inspired by another toy. In the late 1940s, a Danish carpenter named Ole Kirk Christensen and his son were experimenting with plastic toys. They discovered a British product called Kittycraft. These were small blocks that could snap together. Inspired, they redesigned the idea to make stronger bricks with a clutch power system that locked pieces firmly in place. In 1958, Lego patented the iconic click-together brick, and that design still works with today's Legos. From a little plastic idea to limitless imagination. Penicillin, the first antibiotic, came from, well, a messy lab. In 1928, a Scottish scientist named Alexander Fleming was studying bacteria in petri dishes. When he returned from vacation, he noticed something kinda odd. Mold had accidentally grown on one of his dishes, and where it grew, the bacteria had died. The mold was Penicillium notatum, and it was killing harmful bacteria. This amazing discovery led to penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, and it has saved millions of lives since.